Well, Valley Congressman Raul Ruiz has won his re-election to the U.S. House in California's 25th Congressional District. The Democrat has served the region since he was first elected to Congress in 2013. I spoke with him today about the election and also his thoughts on the still uncalled race in his neighboring district between Republican Congressman Ken Calvert and Democrat Will Rollins. All right, Congressman Ruiz, first off, your reaction to your win.
I'm very happy. I'm very honored. I'm very humbled to continue to receive the trust of the people in my district. And I continue to pledge to put people over politics, to bring results and resources back into the community. I'm really pleased with the results.
And now I'm curious your reaction to the presidential election and also the red wave across the country.
Well, with that race, I'm not so pleased. I'm still processing what happened. I'm very disappointed. I truly believed that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz had the better plan, a better vision, and a better demeanor to bring our country together, to end the vitriol, the divisions, the lies, and the extremisms that we've seen under the Trump's campaign. But the American people have cast their ballots, and the people's will needs to be done. And so Donald Trump will be the next president.
I'm curious, what do you think the Democrats did wrong?
You know, I think that the question is, what did the Trump campaign do that helped them win? And the reports that I'm seeing is that they really focused on a lot of grassroots means of non-traditional means of communicating, whether it's radio, podcast, influencers, and quite honestly, really infused a lot of the same rhetoric that instilled hate or fear. Those are very strong emotions. And there was a lot of disinformation. Things like Haitians are eating their people's pets in Ohio.
Obviously, your race has been called, but your neighboring district, the 41st Congressional District between Republican incumbent Ken Calvert and Democrat Will Rollins, has still not been called. Right now, it appears that Calvert is in the lead. Your thoughts on that race?
No, Will is such a good human being. And his heart's in the right place. He's incredibly intelligent. You got a lot of politicians who want to get a title for their own benefit, for their own ego. They turn it in to try to figure out how they can use their position in office to line their own pockets. And you see that not only in the federal races, but here locally too. And so once you get a person who is running for the right reasons, to put the community above their own interests, to sacrifice in order to better the lives of people that they serve, it's a breath of fresh air. And that's Will Rollins. That's why I've supported him from day one, helped give him advice, helped him raise funds for his campaign. And so right now I'm really nervous that and heartbroken where he's at. There's still a long way to go. There's a lot of votes that haven't been counted. But I know Will Rollins will make an exceptional congressman. And I know that whatever he pursues, if he does not win this race, if he doesn't run again, I know that he's only going to achieve enormous success.
All right, Congressman Ruiz, as always, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.